Now see here, it is your reaction mixture, and in your reaction mixture you have approximate 5 to 6 enzyme molecule, and also you have 2 3 inhibitor substances. So what is going to be happen if this inhibitor will be bound to the enzyme molecule? So these are just simply blocking the enzyme reaction, isn't it? It will create the hurdle in the enzymatic activity. So today we all will be talking about the types of inhibitor. In your syllabus you don't have so many inhibitors. You actually there are four type of inhibitor. uh, Main two type, reversible, irreversible. In the case of the reversible inhibition, you have the competitive inhibitor, non-competitive inhibitor, then uncompetitive inhibitor, mixed type of inhibitor. But in your syllabus only two type of inhibitors are given, that is the competitive inhibitor and non-competitive inhibitor. So today we will be talking about these two categories only of the inhibitor, that is the competitive and non-competitive inhibitor. Okay. So first we will be talking about the two inhibitor type, reversible inhibitor, non-reversible inhibitor. We all have just discussed that the enzyme inhibitor are the substances which are identical in the shape, but shape means the structure of the substrate, but they are uh, not the actual substrate. So if the substrate will bind to the enzyme, the substrate will be converted into the product. So if the enzyme is bound with the substrate, it will after some time, means after the catalytic activity, it will convert the substrate as a product and it will release the product, right? So what is going to be happen at the same time when the catalysis reaction is occurring? So at that particular time, this enzyme will become free. Now this space is vacant to bind with the another type of the substrate, isn't it, student? So now in the case of the inhibitor molecule, it is not going to happen. Now the inhibitor is not the actual substrate, student. So will this inhibitor will not be converted into the product. So what will happen if the inhibitor is bound to the active side of the enzyme? So this inhibitor will remain like that only. Now what is going to be happen? This inhibitor will be here. So this enzyme will not become vacant. The enzyme will not be free to perform. Now this substrate was bound. This substrate was converted into the product. Now the space is vacant, active site is vacant to bind with the another substrate. So meanwhile the other substrate will come, the other substrate will bind, then other substrate will convert into the product. So the thing is that the same enzyme will repeatedly perform the reaction. But in the reaction mixture, I told you that there are some enzymes, they are completely blocked, they are not able to perform the reaction. So what is going to be happen? This enzyme will not be able to perform the catalytic activity. These enzymes will remain blocked because they don't understand the inhibitor molecule, and they don't have capacity to convert this inhibitor molecule into the any other type of the product. So yeah, on the basis of the nature of the inhibitor are of two category. One in category of the inhibitor knows as the your reversible inhibitor, and if the reversible inhibitor means at some point after a reaction go to some extent, they have capacity, or you can say they are able to release the inhibitor molecule and non irreversible inhibitor, that means they block the active site of the enzyme permanently. So today we will be considering the inhibition part, and we will learn about the competitive and the non-competitive inhibitor. So this competitive inhibitor, first we will discuss about. Now competitive inhibitor. Now, competitive inhibitor name itself is suggesting that they are going to compete with the substrate molecule. They look identical of the substrate molecule. Identical means their structure is quite similar with the substrate molecule. So this particular type of the inhibitor will bind to the free enzyme and not the enzyme substrate molecule. If the enzyme's active site is vacant, so that particular time, this particular type of the enzyme will bind to the enzyme's active site, and because inhibitor molecule, now how they are able to bind with the active site of the enzyme, because they are structural analog of the substrate in terms of chemical structure, shape, pattern, or you can say the polarity. So what will happen? And now we might be thinking that the active site of enzyme is so specific, then why they are able to bind with it? Because that particular enzyme will recognize the inhibitor molecule as its own substrate because of the structural analogity, and they will show the affinity with that particular inhibitor molecule, but after binding it will understand that these are not the understand means will identify that this is not the substrate molecule, so will not be able to convert it into the product. So such type of inhibitor are known as the competitive inhibitor because it will have the affinity with the enzyme molecule and they will compete. So suppose if your inhibitor molecules, your this is your reaction mixture, and in your reaction mixture you have substrate molecule as well as you have the inhibitor molecule. Okay, I made inhibitor with the green and this with the blue. So what will happen, and this is the enzyme molecule. So what will happen when the substrate will going to bind with the enzyme? So this will also try to go to the enzyme, the inhibitor will also try. So how this reaction will occur? So what will happen? Now we know our simple reaction. First we will write the enzymes of reaction. Enzyme will bind with the substrate. So it will give out enzyme substrate complex, right? And when enzyme substrate complex is nothing but your normal complex, so when such complex will form, the enzyme will convert the substrate into the product and will release it. So the product will form. But same time we know when the substrate was trying to bind with the enzyme, there was another molecule, that is the inhibitor molecule. The inhibitor was also trying to bind with the enzyme. So when the inhibitor will bind with the enzyme, it will form the EI complex. This reaction is very important, student. You have to write down this reaction and note it, because in exam such type of reaction may ask, and you may be asked identify which type of inhibition inhibitor is. So you will be able to answer when the enzyme is having the competitive inhibitor, so it compete with the substrate. So here it will have the chance to bind with the substrate or it will bind to the inhibitor. Now when it will bind to the inhibitor, the reaction will stop as EI complex. The further step or catalytic step will not occur. Last lecture we all have learned that the enzyme catalysis reaction is in two parts. One is the binding step. So this binding step will occur in two ways. Either it will bind with the substrate or it will bind to the inhibitor. But this catalytic reaction cannot be carried out unless the enzyme will not bind with the substrate. So now what will happen? This Michaelis-Menten plot. Now last lecture we all have learned how to make the Michaelis-Menten plot, right? You'll remember we all made the Michaelis-Menten plot, so we will not be able to plot the Michaelis-Menten here. What is our normal Michaelis-Menten plot? How we draw the Michaelis-Menten plot? We take the substrate, on x-axis, right? You all remember last lecture when we were deriving the Michaelis-Menten reaction, that time we have learned to draw this particular type of plot. So we were drawing the substrate on the x-axis and the velocity, or you can say the catalytic activity, on the y-axis. So what we have learned, when the normal enzyme are being used into the reaction mixture, so this particular time the reaction was progressing in this manner, right? You'll remember we have discussed about it, that at a sufficient quantity of the substrate, the enzyme brings up the steady reaction. But when there is inhibitor, competitive inhibitor, what will happen? This is your normal enzyme. If there is a competitive inhibitor, what will happen, students? The inhibitor will create the hurdles, will compete with the substrate, so it will take the large quantity of the enzyme. Understand? So we need to increase the substrate molecule. Why? Because it is the competition, so more substrate molecules are there, so more inhibition will happen. So this way, a large quantity steady state will take time to come. So if without inhibitor, the steady state we are getting here, so with the inhibitor we will get the steady state here. So that means we required sufficiently large quantity of the substrate molecule. Is that clear? So here, what is our conclusion? That the competitive inhibitor, it affects the quantity of the substrate but not the velocity. If the enzyme is getting chance to bind with the substrate, here it is more important that enzyme must get chance to bind with the substrate. So if enzyme is getting chance to bind with the substrate, so definitely it is going to convert it into the product. So more and more substrate molecules are required. So if in the competition the number of substrates are more, so it will have the more chances to bind with the enzyme. So here we can say the competitive type of the inhibitor, they affect the enzyme substrate concentration but not the velocity. Now how we can plot the Lineweaver graph? See student, it is very important to understand how to make the Michaelis-Menten graph and the Lineweaver graph, because this will ask in the practical exam. In theory anyhow you can by heart it, but in practical you will get the values, so you have to plot. Now we all have learned, in the case of the Lineweaver again we are plotting the substrate concentration, and Lineweaver is nothing but the double reciprocal curve, so we are writing it in as a 1 by s, right? Again same, on the y-axis we have taken the 1 by v. Okay, now here the plot wherever touching to the x-axis is your Km. Okay, so if you are using the enzyme molecule, now this is your normal substrate. Okay, you can say without inhibitor, normal reaction, which is of without inhibitor. This is your normal reaction. So wherever it is touching to the x-axis, we are considering that point as a Km. and wherever it is touching to the your y-axis, that particular point is your 1 by V max. Okay, so what will happen? I told you that this competitive inhibitor, they are not at all affecting your V max, but it is affecting the substrate concentration. So यहाँ पर what will happen? Your substrate, now we all know very well, this is your 0 and these are the minus number and these are the positive number. So if it is minus, so if suppose it is minus 2, so minus 1 is greater than the minus 2. So what will happen? Here Vmax will be same, your substrate concentration will increase, and your reaction will your with inhibitor line will be like this. So what is happening here? Your substrate concentration, what we have learned in the case of the Michaelis Menten, that the substrate concentration is increasing. In the case of the normal enzyme reaction without inhibitor, normal enzyme reaction, what was the case? You required only this much. I'm sorry, Alhamdulillah. You required only this much quantity of the substrate, right? This much quantity was sufficient. But when you added the inhibitor into the reaction mixture, so this inhibitor, because of adding inhibitor, the inhibitor was competing with the enzyme's active site to bind. So you required this much quantity of the substrate to bind. But when the substrate in volume increases, so more substrate was available to bind with the enzymes active site. So what was happen, whenever it was getting chance to bind, the velocity of the enzyme or Vmax was not altered. So this is your Vmax line. Vmax was same in the case of the reaction without inhibitor as well as with inhibitor, but in the case of the inhibitor molecule, you require sufficiently large quantity of the substrate. You can compare, this red line, this is showing the amount of the substrate required without inhibitor, and this green line is showing the number of the substrate molecule required with the inhibitor. Same we have learned in the case of the Lineweaver work plot, right? So with inhibitor you required only this much quantity of the substrate molecule, but when you added. Now you might be thinking, ma'am, this is a small substrate. No, this is the minus number. So with inhibitor, you required the large quantity. Without inhibitor, you required the small quantity of the substrate. So this is about the competitive inhibitor. So we learned about the competitive inhibitor. We learned the reaction. What is the reaction? The reaction is when the in enzyme molecules, they are binding with the substrate, so they are giving the enzyme substrate complex and it is forming the product. But the competitive inhibitors are the structural analog of the substrate, so that's why they bind to the free enzyme and enzyme's active site, and whenever they are binding, definitely they cannot convert the inhibitor into the product, so they will keep the enzyme blocked and they will remain as EI complex. So next category or next type of the enzyme inhibitor is your non-competitive inhibitor. So we will talk about the non-competitive inhibitor now. Now what happened? What is this non-competitive inhibitor? So this type of inhibitor, competition will not occur between the substrate and inhibitor's active site, because this type of inhibitor do not have any structural similarity with the substrate. It binds with the enzyme at the place other than active site. So what is going to be happen? Suppose this is your enzyme, this is your enzyme, and this is your substrate. Okay. So this enzyme has bound to the substrate, and the inhibitor is having affinity to bind other than the actual space. So inhibitor molecule is binding somewhere here, or it may be binding to the ES complex. You can say it can bind here also. So what will happen, that it will not affect the substrate concentration, means your reaction will not be speed up. When you will increase the substrate, you will not reach to the Vmax when you will increase the substrate molecule. So what will happen, how the reaction will be affected? Can you think about it, how your reaction will be affected? Let's see. When your enzyme is binding with your normal substrate, so definitely this is our normal reaction. It is going to give the ES complex, and that ES complex will give us the free enzyme, plus your product will form. Right now what I told you, that this inhibitor molecule do not have any type of the structural similarity, so it can bind anywhere into the enzyme. So say if it binds to the free enzyme, so what will happen? When it will bind to the free enzyme, what will happen? It will form the EX complex, isn't it? So here we will get the EI complex. Now see, point to be remember here, EI complex is been formed, but this enzyme's active site is not been engaged, isn't it? Active site is free only. It do not have any type of bound substrate over it. So it can bind with the substrate also. So which type of complex will form here? Can you think about it? Which type of complex will form? Here, enzyme will have substrate bound to it as well as the inhibitor bound to it. So here the complex will be ESI complex. Other case, it can bind to the ES complex directly. So the reaction will be like this. Enzyme can bind to the substrate, will form the ES complex. That ES complex can be bound with the inhibitor molecule. Now see what will happen when the inhibitor, such type of inhibitor. Now you might be thinking that, ma'am, now here the reaction is not affected. No, the reaction will not be affected, but it will cause the deviation of the Vmax. Means the enzyme will become a little bit disturbed kind and will affect the velocity. So how Michaelis-Menten plot can be drawn here in this case? Yes. How can we draw the Michaelis-Menten plot? Just a minute, student. How, how can we plot the Michaelis-Menten in this case? Simple, same way. You need to remember the Michaelis-Menten plot and the Lineweaver plot will be asked for identification in exam. If the exam is your online mode, definitely it can be asked. So first we will draw the Michaelis-Menten plot, students. Now we know in the case of the Michaelis-Menten plot, this is your substrate and this is your velocity, right? So when your substrate is bind with the enzyme, so this is normal substrate is there. So this is your normal reaction without inhibitor. Okay. So what will happen with inhibitor? How the reaction will come? Simply now substrate equilibrium will be same. Only the Vmax will slow down. Understand? Now what is happening? I will explain. This is your substrate concentration. This is your Vmax. Now see when your steady state touches to the Vmax, that particular point is called as the Vmax. So this is the steady state when you will draw a slope. So that time wherever the slope line is touching to the y-axis, that particular point is considered as the Vmax, and wherever your slope is touching to the x-axis, that particular point is called as a Km. Km is nothing but the substrate concentration required for reaching to the Vmax, half of the Vmax. Now same you can observe here, this is your Vmax without inhibitor. So what is altered here? Your Vmax is altered here. Your substrate concentration is same. Understand now how your Lineweaver work plot will form in this case? Yes, any guess? It will be same as we have learned. 1 by S will come here, then your 1 by V. Now what is altered or what is affected here is your Km. Sorry, your Vmax. So Km will be same. First we will draw the reaction your without inhibitor. If without inhibitor you are getting the reaction, just a minute. Here, so your Vmax decreases. Your Vmax decreases, so what will happen? Any guess? I will only draw. Your Km will remain same, so your plot will come from here. This will be the line. Sorry. Okay. So this is with competitive, sorry, non-competitive inhibitor. Okay. So what is happening here? What is affected? Now you might be thinking, ma'am, again you have taken the point above it, and here in this case the line is below it. So it is 1 by V, student. Okay. You need to remember. And this is minus 1 by Km. So that's why it is such changes. So this is about the competitive inhibitor. Just we will sum up with last note. You need to remember what is affected. Now this is your type of inhibitor. binding target, affected Km and Vmax. So your competitive inhibitor and competitive inhibitor can bind only E, that is enzyme, free enzyme. Now, does it affect the substrate concentration? Yes, it do affect the substrate concentration, but it do not alter or do not affect the Vmax. Then when we talk about the non-competitive inhibitor, so it can bind to the free enzyme or it can bind to the ES complex. Does it affect the substrate concentration? No, it does not affect the substrate concentration, but it affects the Vmax. It decreases the velocity. Now here you can show this type of arrow to remember. Okay, take screenshot of it and remember this is the sum up that competitive inhibitor, it can bind to the free enzyme only and it increases the Km, that is the substrate concentration, but it do not alter or it do not affect the velocity of the enzyme catalysis reaction. So Vmax is unaffected. This straight line is showing unaffected. Now when we talk about the non-competitive inhibitor, it have access or it can bind to the enzyme molecule or it can bind to the enzyme substrate complex also. It do not affect the Km, so Km is unaltered, but it decreases or it slows down the Vmax. So this is about the enzyme inhibitor. Next lecture we will be talking about the therapeutic uses of the enzyme inhibitor. So for this note for today we'll stop.